The movie starts with Gian and Cece saying goodbye at the train station. Gian then decided to go to London for a fresh start. Then, we go back a few years when Gian gets a call from his mom. She wants him to meet her friend's son, where Gian will be introduced to a woman. Actually, Gian doesn't want to, but he has to obey his mom. While leaving, Gian sees Cece for the first time, and he saves her from a train accident. Inside the train, Cece stands up for a pregnant lady. Later, Cece vomits on Gian's shirt, so he helps her. When Gian finds a seat, he intended to leave her there, but the pregnant lady makes him carry Cece. They then go to a nearby hotel, where Gian gets a room on the 4th floor and has to carry Cece upstairs. At the hotel room, Gian needs to wash his dirty clothes, so he wears only a small towel. When he is about to dry his clothes, suddenly Cece wakes up, thinking Gian will harm her, and they argue, leading to Gian's towel falling off. When Gian gets back home, his mom scolds him, so he has to sleep outside. The next day at campus, Cece asks Gian to meet her at the station. Waiting for him, she forgets to mention which exit, and there are 5 of them. Cece gets Gian's number from the hotel receptionist and invites him for a meal. While waiting, the waiter's boyfriend shows up. Strangely, he immediately gets angry with his girlfriend. Seeing this, Cece disagrees and even hits the waiter's boyfriend. Shortly after, Cece tells Gian that she broke up with her boyfriend, making her cry. Gian then offers her a handkerchief, and they started to get along, marking the start of their relationship, and Gian calls Cece a magical girl. While in class, Cece asks Gian to skip, but he refuses because he had a class. She keeps persuading and finally they leave together, having fun together. At one point, Cece reveals her desire to travel around Indonesia and never wants to return to Jakarta. Seeing her sad, Gian feels frustrated, not knowing her feelings. At the lake, Cece shows Gian a movie script she wrote about a future woman saving her boyfriend. As a writer, she wants her stories to be set in Indonesia's exotic places. Suddenly, it starts raining, which upsetting Cece because she wanted to show something to Gian, but the rain obscures it. Gian then suggests playing in the rain, and though hesitant, Cece joins, finding it fun. Shortly after, Gian meets up with his friends, but he receives a call from Cece. Not long after, she appears there and they end up getting drunk together. However, Gian's unclear speech injures Cece, leading her to leave. Afterward, Cece doesn't contact Gian for several months. In his room, Gian's father approached him to see his assignment and advising Gian to be responsible with his words. Suddenly, Cece messages Gian, and when he responds, she calls to inform him that it's her birthday tomorrow, and she wants to meet him to show something. Cece and Gian return to their previous place where they encounter a depressed man contemplating to do the unthinkable due to a failed marriage. However, Cece intervenes, recalling her own past struggles, but she then remembered that her parents didn't raise her to be a loser. It turns out Cece invites Gian to watch the sunset there, which she wanted to show him. She reflects on the enduring aspects of life amidst change. Despite being beside him, Gian still feels Cece seems distant from him, sensing her happiness may be superficial. At a cafe, Cece shares her story ideas, where each of her focusing on time travel or individuals from the future returning to the past. Cece then asks Gian to give the scenario to his friend Aries. The following days, Cece picks Gian up from class, and they leave together. Along the way, Cece feels tired from her high heels and asks to switch shoes with Gian. Initially refusing, Gian eventually agrees but struggles to walk. Cece makes it harder for him by asking Gian to catch her, which he reluctantly agrees. Later, Cece invites Gian to her house, where Gian interrogated by her parents about his job, to which he admits he's still in university, feeling guilty, and leaving abruptly. Where Cece cries as Gian leaves, and they don't contact each other afterward. During this time, neither of them seeks to replace the other. Not long after, while at the library, Cece calls Gian cheerfully, wanting to celebrate their 100th day anniversary. She asks Gian to bring flowers and dress in high school attire to her old school. When Gian arrived at school, he had to trick the security guard to get into the school. Inside, there's only Cece where she plays the piano with a song Gian likes. He approaches her with the flowers, and the students there cheer for Cece after she played the piano. Shortly after, they celebrate at a club and have a great time there. Until Cece faints again due to drunkenness, and Gian has to take Cece home. In the car, Cece appears comfortable with Gian. When Gian saw her, he hoped all her sadness had vanished. Upon arriving home, Cece's father urgently asked Gian to leave before Cece's mother found out. Outside, Cece's mother called Gian, requesting him to break up with Cece. Where the next morning, Cece found a farewell letter from Gian. 3 months later, Gian looked into dating apps and received a call from Cece. She wanted him to accompany her on a date to get his opinion about her new partner. Initially hesitant because he was on his own date, Gian changed his mind upon seeing Cece's date and agreed to meet her. Shortly after, Gian was introduced to Cece's new partner as her friend. While conversing with Cece, Gian noticed she still wore a necklace from her ex, signifying she hadn't opened her heart to another man. Feeling guilty and sad, Cece decided to go to the toilet for a moment. However, when Cece returned, Gian had left, having shared Cece's habits with her date. Soon after that, Gian met Cece on the train, where Cece thanked Gian for spending his time and energy on her. Seeing her still wearing the necklace, Gian felt upset again. Upon reaching Cece's house, Gian escorted her to the gate, where Cece asked to break up, but in her own way by writing a letter. Back at home, Gian poured out his emotions onto paper, as Cece had requested. It took him days to finish, hesitant to let go of Cece. Yet, he wanted her happiness, even if it meant they wouldn't be together. Later, they found themselves on a hill, where Cece asked Gian to climb the opposite hill as a test. Despite his reluctance, Gian complied, showing his devotion. Once there, Cece confessed her inability to heal her wounds and apologized for making him wait. They then exchanged letters, sealing them in a bottle to be opened together in 2 years, hoping to find the answer. In the present, Gian struggled to let go, eventually chasing after Cece as she boarded the train. They bid farewell as the train departed. Gian keeps himself busy to fill his time by writing stories about his time together with Cece on his website blog entitled The Magical Woman, which gained popularity and sparked interest in a movie adaptation among his friends. 2 years later, on Gian's birthday, he reflected on their separation. After reading Cece's letter, he learned about her struggles with her past love, who was irreplaceable in her eyes. At that time, Cece celebrated alone, still mourning her ex-boyfriend's death, unable to move on despite her ex's mother's attempts to set her up with similar men. But it was her first love who will forever cherish in her heart. Cece and her boyfriend often visited a tree on the hill, making promises never to leave each other. Cece frequented the spot when she was near Gian, hoping to alleviate her guilt. However, her guilt only intensified in his presence, leading her to decide to part ways with Gian. They agreed that if she didn't return within the promised time, it meant she was still trapped by guilt, and Gian had to move on without her. One day, Cece visited the tree and discovered that the old tree had been replaced after being struck by lightning. A man there informed her that Gian had requested a similar tree to be planted in its place. After reading their letters buried there, Cece made the decision to let go of her necklace and start a new life. The following days, Cece met her ex's mother, who planned to introduce her to a man. To her surprise, the man turned out to be Gian, leading to their unexpected reunion. It seemed that fate had brought them together once more. The end. Moral lesson from the story: always carry an extra towel, because you never know when it might save you from an awkward situation like losing your clothes in front of your crush. But remember, it's better to be prepared than bare.